Hey everybody! After the 25,000 subscriber special announcement type video where I had everybody suggesting games in the comments, you guys suggested over 500 unique games, and that's kind of insane. Now, as much as I would like you guys to be able to vote between 500 games, that's kind of a lot to dump on you guys' shoulders, and I've had to sit back and kind of cull the list back to something reasonable, and even then I can guarantee you there's going to be people in the comments saying that it's still unreasonably large and this is far too much to get into, but this is all I got, folks, because I really want you guys to choose my next Let's Play. And I think in the future, maybe I'll find a way to do this a little bit better. But until then, this is what we're going with. Now, from everything that was suggested, I did remove a couple games in going through the list to try to shorten it back some. I removed a couple games that I simply couldn't do, be it for technical reasons or Let's Play-ish reasons. I still had a couple people suggesting an MMO, despite that's what I specifically pointed out I couldn't do. Minigame compilations are something else that I can't really make a Let's Play out of. Granted, I could make videos on them, I could sit down, get a couple friends together and we play through a game, and that'd be great and all, but it wouldn't really be a proper Let's Play, especially for something that I want to do for this giant voting. A few other things that I removed were 3DS games as well as PSP and Vita games, simply because I can't record off of any of those systems right now. Technically, I can't even record off of a DS, so any game that was suggested for the DS that comes up in the voting, please understand that something may go wrong and I may not be able to record it. But I'll try! I also removed a lot of games that I simply knew I wasn't going to enjoy from the start. As much as I wanted to open this list up and just put everything that all of you wanted on this list, I do know that I'm still going to be making a Let's Play of it in the end, and if I'm going to hate the game, I'm probably not going to make a good Let's Play of it. But that said, I've managed to knock the list back to an impressive 225 games. Now, with that many games, what's going to happen here is I'm going to have 15 rounds of 15 games. So today is round 1. 15 games will be displayed here shortly. I'll speak for but a moment about them, and then you can go, there will be a link in the description, to a voting place, so you can actually choose what the game is going to be that will then go to the finals. There's 15 rounds, so I'm taking one winner from each round. These 15 winners will all come together into the finals, where you will actually decide from those 15 who the final winner will be. So without further ado, the 15 games that are up for voting right now are Deus Ex: Human Revolution, an action RPG for the PC. I guess you could call it an action RPG. This is why we don't have good names for genres in video games. Evergrace, an action RPG for the PlayStation 2. Bubble Memories, a Bubble Bobble game for the arcade. Samurai Western, an action game for the PlayStation 2. Knytt Stories, a calm explorative platformer for the PC. Turok 2: Seeds of Evil, first-person shooter for the Nintendo 64. Star Ocean: The Last Hope, an action RPG leaning towards the RPG for the PlayStation 3. El Shaddai, an action game for the PlayStation 3. Banjo-Kazooie, an explorative platformer for the Nintendo 64. StarFox 64, on-rails space shooter for the Nintendo 64. Chrono Trigger, action RPG for the Super Nintendo, leaning towards the RPG. Etrian Odyssey 3, dungeon crawler for the Nintendo DS. Tokobots Plus, action platformer for the PlayStation 2. Odin Sphere, action RPG leaning towards the action for the PlayStation 2. And Dungeon Explorer, action RPG leaning towards the action for the TurboGrafx. Now the finals, I will want to be as unbiased as possible, but pardon me if I actually do try to bias the votes on these a little bit, just to make sure we get a really good showing for the actual finals. If I could comment on a lot of the games here, we've got a surprising number of really good games in this list, and it's gonna be sad to see a lot of these big contenders get knocked out right in this round. Odin Sphere looks absolutely beautiful, but I'm not entirely sure if I can pull it off, seeing as I've never actually played through the entire game before, so I'm worried about how hard it's going to get later on. Tokobots Plus looks absolutely fun as can be. I actually own the game and have played a bit of it. Chrono Trigger, of course, is the classic Chrono Trigger. StarFox 64 I've beaten a number of times and really enjoyed, as well as Banjo-Kazooie. Etrian Odyssey 3 is actually... The Etrian Odyssey series is where the FOE came from. I've always been kind of intrigued by first-person dungeon crawlers. And then there's El Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron, and that is a game, let me tell ya. I have played and enjoyed that game, and it really needs to be shown off, and people really need to see it. And you know what? I'm just not even going to put it on the list. You know what? I'm going to do El Shaddai at some point, so I'm not even going to put it on here. I'll replace it with Eat Lead, The Return of Matt Hazard. Third-person shooter for the PlayStation 3. Eat Lead is actually a, I guess you could say, comedic game about an old, washed-up video game character who's trying to get by in current-day video games and make a comeback. And that's in-universe there, so expect a lot of goofy dialogue in that one. I think when all is said and done, the game that I'm most interested in taking a look at in this game, though, is actually Etrian Odyssey 3. So now I just need you guys to go vote, and let me tell you, this is exceedingly easy to vote. Here, let me show you. All you have to do is, from the video, scroll down to the video description here, where you'll see a link right near the top. Just click on it, and there's your dudes. I'll go ahead and vote right now. You can also vote for multiples if you want. So you know what? I kind of like Tokobots, and kind of like StarFox, and I'll go with that. And there we are! It's just that simple, so get to voting, guys! Tune in tomorrow when I have the second of rounds for you to vote on. The actual results for this will be made public when we get around to doing the finals round.